Hello, everybody. Welcome to an all new Beyond the Barricade. We are live right now. And without further ado, let me bring on my guest, the one and only Big Game Leroy. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up? What's up? It's exciting to be on, excited to be talking and be on the video stuff. It's great.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you're on, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
All right, let's start off with how you fell in love with this wonderful world that we call wrestling.
Oh man, it's hard because when I feel like I've been watching wrestling pretty much my whole life.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I was probably 3 or 4. I remember seeing The Rock come on TV. I think I was probably channel flipping or whatever, or just playing with the remote or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, no, it was. I mean, it was love at first sight, pretty much. Like he was just cutting a promo about who, suing what. I have no idea, but he was entertaining. He was fun. The
And
energy was
energetic.
there. Yeah, and the crowd was going crazy and eating literally every word he was saying. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Then, you start watching it and you start actually understanding what's going on. And then you're
All
like,
right.
oh, this is really cool. Rey Mysterio, Kurt
Uh-huh.
Angle, SmackDown back then. I was just like, oh, man, this is really cool. And I just, probably should have grew out of it. Never did. And then now I am a wrestler.
There you go. It's funny because The Rock was just on the Grammys last night. He's hanging out
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
Grammys.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling will do good for you, right? Get you
Absolutely.
everywhere.
Absolutely. All right. Now that you're like, yeah, all right, wrestling's awesome, this and that. What made you decide to start training? Where'd you go to school, and who were some of your trainers?
So I actually didn't actually always want to like be a wrestler. I not because I didn't like love it, but because I was like, oh man, I probably won't be really good at it. They're probably looking
Uh
for like 6'5", jacked, 350-pound muscly dudes, and that's just not really me.
huh.
And I was like, I don't know. But then around like the mid 2010s, I was like, oh man, guys like CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Seth
Right.
Rollins, John Moxley. I was like, oh, these guys are actually kind of doing their thing and doing pretty well. Maybe there's a chance for a guy like me to do well as well. So,
Right.
I found a wrestling school based in New York City, House of Glory Wrestling. Amazing Red, Brian Excel were my initial trainers, and that was pretty much what got me started. As soon as I graduated high school, I ran up on the school and was like, "Hey, how do I get to be a part of this?" And they said, "Money." And I was like, "All right, I will find money and we'll do this."
Pay the fee, and then we can start training you.
Yeah, pretty much. The second
Now,
time I showed up, Brian Excel was like, "Yo, you got the money?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, definitely." He's like, "All right, cool, get in there."
now, according to some of my notes, you were the House of Glory Crown Jewel champion.
Yes,
You held
yes.
it for 22 days. How was that winning that championship?
I forgot that I held it for such a long time, but
Hey, you were still champ.
I was. There's been shorter reigns. I don't have the shortest reign, so I'm like, at least I got that. But
Okay.
no, it was great. I was like probably like 20 or 21 when I won that title, and I mean,
Right.
like I'm pretty sure I was 20, and it's like kind of nuts to be able to have like a championship and not even old enough to like drink, and it's like nuts because like I
Right.
all I ever like thought about was being a pro wrestler, and I didn't really think of the rewards or the cool stuff that I didn't have like goals like that. I just was like, I
Right.
just want to be good at this, and being able to win a championship literally in my first year is like pretty nuts to me. And like I think like there's something really cool about that. Like I'll never ever like it never stops being cool to me.
That's awesome. All right, let's go back a little bit. Let's go into you're done training, and they're like, all right, Leroy, because that's how you started. I don't even know if that's how you started, but let's say, all right, Leroy, you're going to have your first match. What were some of the emotions and the thought process going into that match, and who was your opponent?
So it's really interesting because like I have a very weird introduction into wrestling, like in terms of like my character and
Uh
me and
huh.
me being out there and stuff like that. Like
Gotcha.
I started off as a part of Ken Broadway's stable, the original Cash Flow Inc. And
Hmm.
I was his young boy, which is, like essentially like his bag boy, his servant, and all
Uh
this
huh.
and that. And eventually it was like the crowd started kind of getting behind me in a way where it was like, oh, we kind of like Leroy. He's this weird, plucky little dude who gets beat up a lot, but he's kind of cute or something. And so it was like, okay, we kind of anticipating, we kind of want this. I kind of wanted it, and it was pretty cool. Like to be able to debut. It was kind of announced. It was like a whole promo and everything. Like Ken Broad was just in the middle of the ring and goes, "Yeah, well, big game Leroy, or at the time Leroy Green, you're you're gonna go wrestle. It's your debut." And then the crowd is like, "Oh, cool. We didn't know we were gonna see that."
Right.
No graphic, no pre-announcements, no nothing. I was in Adidas track pants. You know what I'm saying? Like and then I wrestled a guy named Nikki Heat, who the House of Glory faithful will know very, very well. He's awesome dude. Kind of a jerk, but he's an awesome dude. He beat me up a lot,
Right.
but I get to say I won my first match, with a little bit of help from Smiley. So
All right. That's good. Tell me about the first gimmick match you were in, or the toughest gimmick match you've been in, actually.
That's tough. So I've been in a few. So I've done last man standing matches. I've done street
Oh, okay.
fights, casket match, a few no ring death matches.
Wow, you've done a lot.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I think the worst. I think they all hurt for different reasons and in different ways. But I will say I had a casket match WrestleMania weekend in 2019 for House of Glory against Smiley, and there was a moment in the match where he's power bombing me into the buckles. It's buckle power bomb, one corner, buckle power bomb, another buckle. He goes for the trifecta, and instead of power bombing me into the buckles, he proceeds to running power bomb me outside over the ropes.
Oh,
onto the we had like a wooden ramp. That was where you made your entrance. So he power bombed me onto that wooden ramp, and I swear I bounced a foot back up into the air. And the sick thud was just like, that was the worst pain I've ever been in my entire life. And
ouch.
Very proud to say I won that match. I got up afterwards. So I think that there's a victory in that alone. And I'm very big on the belief that pain is purposeful, like, hey, there's a level of pain that we go through in wrestling to do what we need to do, to tell our stories, to make our points and send a message. And I'm like, hey man, I got powerbombed on a wooden ramp. I might be the biggest dude in the fight, but like, I'm as tough as they come. Like, that's just it. I'm as tough as they come.
All right, awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. All right, let's talk about a gimmick match that you haven't been in that you want to be
in. That's tough. Oh, hi. For me, I guess I guess I've always kind of wanted to be in a cage match. I've never been in a steel cage match. I know that on the independents, it's kind of hard. Like, there's not a ton of those, but I think that would be really, really cool. I've been in ladder matches. I've done a few, but I think a cage match would really be it. I feel like there's got to be like this long standing, like angry, like blood feud kind of deal though. Cause you're settling it in a cage. It can't just be like absolutely. a regular, all right, buddy, we're gonna wrestle, I guess, in a cage, whatever.
Yeah. No, it don't work that way.
Yeah, no.
It's got to be extra special.
Yeah.
Probably some blood.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I feel like, I just got a cheese grater them on the cage, I'm ready for it. Like,
all right, let's talk about favorite opponent we've had so far.
Oh man, that's tough. I hate questions like this because now
a lot of people say it's tough. Yeah, because you want to pick just one.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make so many people mad.
How about opponent that you've had the best chemistry with?
Oh man, I was trained to believe chemistry isn't real, but I sing very well with anybody who came out of the Hog Wrestling School. So like I have like good natural chemistry with them. Okay. I think there's something about I can't quite place it, but I do think that me and Ken Broadway, we have a lot of like, I don't know if chemistry is the word, but like there's just like there's this synergy when we wrestle, just because we've known each other for so long, and like we trained together for so long, and we know each other very well, and there's just this familiarity, but at the same time it's just like, yo, it's just us, like, and we just wailing on each other. We both just gonna beat the crap out of each other, and I love that. And another person who I really enjoy wrestling, like I really have a lot of fun wrestling, is CPA. He's great.
CPA.
I wrestled him probably at least like 4 or 5 times. He's awesome. And then
he's pretty awesome.
I'm cheating, but I'm gonna name it one last one. Killian McMurphy. Killian McMurphy's another one. Like I hate him, but I love beating him up. It's just great. Him and Dust too.
That's good. All right, awesome. All right, let's talk about independent wrestler that you want to have a match with that you haven't.
that's a
It's
little tough.
another tough one.
Yeah, I would say I think the top of my list would most likely be like either I, I would say most likely Trisha Dora. I think she's got to be up there for me. Like we've passed by a lot and stuff like that. Shared a lot of locker rooms together, and like I'm kind of
Okay.
just like I just want to grapple with one of the best. You know, she's world traveled, just coming from Japan and stuff, and I'm like, I wanted to wrestle her like a while before this
Right.
recent like blow up of her, but I'm just like, yo, like she's really something else, and I really want to test my metal a little bit.
I'm gonna throw a name out there. You ready?
Yeah.
Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet. Okay. All right. All right. What's crazy is we used to train together, and I don't think we've ever had like a training match or anything together like that.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't hate that. Like I said, chemistry with all my hog the hog dojo people. So like,
That's
I
right.
mean,
Another House of Glory.
I wonder what kind of game she likes to play.
She's the champion right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite venue that you've wrestled in?
That's a tough
Oh, that's
one.
another good one.
But that's a good one. That's a
That's
good
what
one.
everybody asks me. Like, oh, these are tough. I don't know about this one.
Yeah, no, it's like splitting hairs. I loved wrestling in Laboom. When I wrestled for Evolve, I really loved Laboom. It
Uh,
was really cool. The lights, the way the crowd is like right there, the way the venue's set up. Uh, but I will say my favorite is probably it's the Demand Lucha runs in this opera house in Toronto, and it is so beautiful. And I remember I came out for my entrance, and I saw the fans up there, like in the balcony thing, and I was just like, oh, and I got starstruck for the first time in a very long time. And I was
mhm.
just like, whoa, this is sick. This is cool. I want to wrestle here all the time. Like, this is
Right.
amazing.
Okay, awesome. Um, I got some notes over here. On May 27th, 2020, you teamed up with EJ Lewis on AEW and you faced Santana and Ortiz. How was that experience wrestling in an AEW ring?
It was pretty awesome. Like I said, like I've been blessed and fortunate to do a lot of really cool stuff, like wrestling and Evolve and getting to be on the WWE Network. And AEW Dark was just like another level of it. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, it was so cool. Everybody in the back was awesome. The environment was awesome. It kind of sucked that a lot of it happened. Like that happened in the pandemic, like in the heat of it. So that was like the first time
Oh,
I left my house in like
a while.
yeah, like I was like I was just working out with one of my buddies, and
Uh,
that was it. That was all I was doing. So to like be able to like, I hopped on a flight with like 3 masks on, and
right.
they COVID tested me in a hotel, and I'm just like, I hope I don't have it. And
Yeah.
it's just like, so that made the moment even like bigger because it was like, whoa, I'm really doing this. I'm really a professional wrestler. Like I'm like traveling across the country
Right.
in kind of the heat of a pandemic. Obviously, safely taking risks, blah blah blah. But like, just really cool because like it didn't have to be me. Things just kind of fell into place like that, and now I just want to kind of capitalize on that and kind of just keep moving forward. And not, you know, not waste that opportunity.
All right.
So to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, here on my notes, it says you were on the PWI Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500 Wrestlers in
Yeah,
2022, and you were
yeah,
495. How was that? That's
yeah. No, that
that's awesome.
it's really cool and really humbling because like I have this weird thing with to me where it's like there's a lot of humility to me, but then there's a lot of like confidence based in
Mhm.
very like logical like, oh, I'm good. Like it's kind of
Right.
like I'm good and it's objective in a lot of ways, but then at the same time I'm like, I just wrestle. I'm pretty decent, I guess. And so like for me, it's always this weird thing of like I really want to be in PWI. I think I deserve to be there because there's a lot of my peers there. And then the other hand of is like,
Right.
it's just a list, and it's all opinions and stuff, and like you're not gonna make everybody happy. You're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but like, yeah, I got on it and it was awesome. Some friends of mine made me a cake and everything. And we're like, yo, and
Awesome.
it's really cool. Like you're in a magazine and you're
It's
kind
a
of
big
in a
deal.
magazine forever. I got to
Right.
show my
Right.
moms and I was like, yo, like this is nuts, like my name is up there with like the best wrestlers on the planet. Like
Right.
it's
And
wild.
you should celebrate. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was really
Good for
cool.
you. That's awesome. Good for you. Um, According to my notes again, you weren't the only the Hog Crown Jewel champion. You were the social media champion for Invictus Pro Wrestling.
Yes, and that
for
reign was a lot
380
longer.
days.
There we go. I was gonna say that reign was a lot longer. So I was like, second time winning a title. I was like, all right, I gotta hold this title for a while. I gotta really
Right.
hold on to this. I was
That
watching my back very, very carefully.
that's a big title. Social media.
Yeah, yeah. I was the
It's a big
champion of
deal.
all the social medias: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube,
Yeah, it's everything.
sometimes Instagram. You know, um, it's a
Uh,
lot of responsibility, but also I'm a very social media friendly guy. People see a GIF of me or a clip of me, and they're just like,
uh,
"Oh my gosh, Leroy, he's the best," and I'm just kind of like, "Yeah, thanks,
hey man, you seem really cool. So hey,
thank you, thank you."
and very humble. That's good. Let's talk about when you were the social media champion. Who were some of the opponents you faced during that title reign?
Killian McMurphy, I think, was the first one. Well, let's see if I can
Hmm.
get this in order. Big Calix. I wrestled Danhausen, Pancakes and Mr. Grimm,
Okay.
um, Vita Von Star, and Kennedy Copeland. I feel like I'm missing one opponent, but I think I named most of them, if not all of them. But yeah, no, I
That's a
wrestled.
good list. Yeah,
Yeah, no, like all of them were really awesome. All of them were different opponents. They kind of tested me in different ways, so to speak.
absolutely. Let's jump out of wrestling for a moment. Let's talk about hobbies. I heard you're a big anime and video game guy.
Really, I wonder what gave it away.
What is your favorite video game and your favorite anime show?
Video game. I'm always good at like doing video games. Like I try to treat it like music, where it's like, that's just what I'm feeling right now. So I'm gonna go with what I'm feeling right now. What I'm feeling right now is I just finished God of War Ragnarok. A lot of fun. I'm gonna like definitely try to jump into a new game plus in the near future. But yeah, I had a ton of fun with that game. Such a masterpiece. Um, I think besides that, I was playing a lot of Sonic Frontiers, and
Mhm.
I never stopped playing Mario Kart with my buddies or Mario Party. So like those are always up there for me. Um, but yeah, and then my favorite anime, I'm wearing it, My Hero Academia. I'm all caught up. I read the manga. I'm watching all the episodes. I'm
Okay.
just hardcore fan for My Hero.
Gotcha. I mean, with as far as video games is concerned, you can't go wrong with Mario
Oh, absolutely not. It's
Absolutely
it
not.
no matter what the mood, it's just a go to.
Now with anime, I'm not really a big anime guy. I'm more of a Marvel guy. But do you collect some of the Funkos?
Yeah. So I do have a few. So I actually got a gift of a Funko. I don't have a ton. Let me not. But like I
Right.
got I got this All Might Funko. So All Might, he's like the mentor figure in My
Uh
Hero
huh.
Academia for the main character, which is this guy Deku.
Okay.
And someone gave me a Funko Pop of All Might, and it's pretty cool. So like I think I have another Funko. I believe it's like I think it's like a Spider Man. Yeah, it's Spider Man.
Spider
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so like I don't collect them, but like sometimes people will give me Funkos, so it's kind of like,
I'm a
yeah,
huge Funko guy, man.
I
I'm huge,
really couldn't tell.
huge Funko guy. Hold on, let me see if I can show it on camera. Here's one right next to me. The Green
Oh, Green
Goblin.
Goblin, that's nice.
He's metallic, so he's shiny.
Yeah, yeah, no, he looks like the Spider Man one.
He
Sam
is.
Raimi,
It's the Sam Raimi one, right?
nice,
Since they brought him back for the new film, Funko created a pop of him,
as they
which
should.
they never did before. They never had that one before.
Right, I mean, because those movies came up before Funkos, right? So it's
Right.
like,
So now's the chance to say, hey, they made a Doc Ock one, Electro. They made a bunch of them.
yeah.
All right, let's jump into favorite foods. What are some of your favorite foods that you like to eat when you're munching, when you're relaxing at home?
Uh, Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I got like a huge sweet tooth, so like anything like sour or gummy or like chewy.
Mm,
Uh, I'm also a big noodles guy. I love ramen. I love pasta. Like so, anything with carbs
mm.
is a okay with me. Um, Besides that, I really like these a particular type of Cheetos. They're like white part. I guess they're like white cheddar
The white cheddar
Cheetos.
ones? Okay.
Yeah, and they're really really good. They're I love those.
I gotta
Um,
try some. I mean, I tried the regular Cheetos, but I haven't had the white cheddar ones.
no, yeah, like they hit. They hit pretty well.
I try to watch the carbs, man. I'm 50, man. I gotta watch those carbs.
Oh man, yeah, I know. I know. Me and my crazy metabolism are
High
just.
metabolism. I don't have that no more. That's gone. I gotta work out almost every day.
Oh no. I mean, I still do work out almost every day, but I'm,
Well, I have to because I'll gain it. I'll weigh like 1,000 pounds, man. I look like Blob from New Mutants or something, or X-Men.
Oh, good. I like that reference.
What are some of the shows you're watching nowadays? Before we jump
Uh,
back into wrestling,
let's see. I've been meaning to get into The Last of Us. I've heard fantastic things about the show.
I heard it's really good. Yes.
Yeah, I just
My
don't have
son
an
watches
HBO
it.
account, but I've heard really good things about it, and I might buckle down and just get the HBO account because
Just to
I
watch
can't
it.
resist. Yeah,
You
just
could
to
probably
watch
get
that
it
because
closer to the end so that you could just binge watch everything.
exactly that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I think there's like 12 episodes, and we're on like episode 5 now, so I'm like, all right,
I
like let's.
believe it's 5. Let me ask my expert over there, Brandon. What episode are we on? Of Last of Us.
Oh, 4?
We're on 4, going on 5.
4 going on 5. Okay, I was in the neighborhood. So yeah, I'm like, all right.
That's my son, Brandon, future aspiring wrestler.
Oh, nice.
3-time 23-6 champion.
Oh yeah, I gotta show you something real quick. He's the 3-time 23-6 YouTube champion. Look at this title.
23-6.
It's the most coveted title in all of YouTube. Let me tell you.
I mean, like that's a beautiful title.
It is a beautiful title. It was handcrafted in Australia.
Holy crap! Like that's beautiful. I might have to come over and
You
take
might have
that title.
There's a lot of challengers out there, but he's not the champion right now. But he's trying to win it back from the current champion.
Who's the current champion?
His name is The Solution.
The Solution.
Yeah, you might have heard of some former champions. Bryce Donovan was one.
Oh yeah, I do know Bryce Donovan. That's a buddy of mine. I like. All right. I might come find this Smith Solution guy and give him a problem if you get what I'm saying.
Well, I'm gonna tell you where you're gonna find him. You're gonna find him at Victory Pro Wrestling this Saturday, February 11th. Make sure you go to Victory Pro Wrestling, get your tickets. That's where you will be hiding.
That's a good plug. Good plug.
It's a good. It's a cheap plug. It's a cheap.
No, but it's a good one because now I might show up just to steal a title. So I don't know.
I have to plug it. That's my home promotion. So
no.
Out here in Long Island.
No, I hear great things about VPW. I have a lot of friends that work over there. I'm sure when the times align, I will find my way there. Good.
I do have the. Did you see the post? Do you know anybody on that card?
I mean, I literally know pretty much everybody on that card. I know Desmond Cole, Brother Greatness is a good friend of mine. Valentina Vasquez has known me since I was a wee one. I know Mike Anthony. Me and him almost shared a hotel room together.
Oh, don't tell him he's crazy.
I mean, I was going to say he's a little eccentric. Just a little eccentric.
Don't tell him he's crazy. He goes nuts.
And Notorious Mimi. I know Mimi. I've known her for a little while too. Monster Factory, yeah.
Yeah. All that Mike, he's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, don't say it too loud when we're on. He's a little sensitive, you know.
Yeah, he might come after me when I see him Saturday. Do you know? I'm gonna bring it back up again real quick. Jack Tomlinson?
Yeah, I do know him. He vlogs in the ring and stuff like that.
That's right. He's also a social media champion somewhere else.
Yeah, he's very. I mean, he takes social media very literally. You know, he doesn't quite stop. But I mean, I'm
around.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm also the one playing video games in the ring sometimes, so it's like I really can't talk much.
There you go. All right, let's go back to you and focus on you. Let's go back to wrestling. Tell me about a rib that was played on you and one that you played on someone.
Ooh, let's see. A rib that was played on me.
I heard some good ones out there, Leroy.
Yeah. I don't know. There was a lot of like I'm trying to think. Because like earlier in my training days, there's a lot of like ribs that we just played on each other and dumb stuff we would do to each other. Oh man, I'm trying to think. Let's see. I think one of the worst ones. I'm trying to remember. I think so. Oh, I remember. I think someone someone hid my gear bag once, or my training bag, because I guess it wasn't really like I wasn't wrestling, but it was my training bag. They put my tights in someone else's bag.
Oh no!
So I went over to the bag and I assumed it was my bag, and I'm just going through it, and then of course it's someone who barely knows me, and the friend just wanted to see us get into an argument about, yo, why are you going through my bag? Da, 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 you know, like stuff like that, stupid stuff like that. That's pretty tame. It's pretty tame. I'm trying to think of a rib that I've done. I'm a pretty nice guy, so I'm like, I don't know. Man, I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm like on a road trip or something. I think. I think only like the ribs that I usually play on people is like, so when I go on hotels and I go on road trips, I'm usually like the first one awake because I don't sleep very well sometimes, especially when I'm on the road. I get really restless. So like I wake up early and I'll like, walk around the hotel. I'll grab the, continental breakfast or stop at the lobby or whatever. And I'll usually head back to the room and I'll just let the person, whoever I'm staying with or people that I'm staying with, be like, oh, dude, we missed call time, man. We overslept. Oh, geez, I was trying to wake you up the whole time. And then usually they're like kind of freak out for like 2 minutes, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, like again, I don't know. I don't really play like messed up ribs on people. I don't know. I kind of just like beat people in video games, and I just kind of like really just scrub them out in that, and then they just get mad and salty.
I think a lot of the ribs I've heard has to do with attire.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the best way to do it, right? Is stealing someone's tights or something,
or putting stuff in their bag or something.
Yeah, or putting baby powder in your knee pads or something. I've heard that one before.
I heard someone put a bunch of pamphlets, like one of those church pamphlets, to a wrestler who was pretty drunk that night.
Wow, I mean,
he went home he went home and he's probably like, "Oh man, I should change my ways."
Yeah, it's a sign from above, man. It's a sign.
Brother Greatness is awesome. Let me tell you, he's so friendly and so nice.
Oh, he's the best. He's one of the best dudes. I really appreciate Brother Greatness.
He really is. I appreciate him too. If you hear me, Brother Greatness, I appreciate you as well.
I'll pass the message along.
Pass the message along. I mean, I'm gonna see him Saturday too. So
yeah. You can also just tell him that.
And one of our blogs, he challenged Des for his title. Desmond Cole.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's jump back to some of your goals for this year that you wanted to do.
It's weird because like for the last for the last few years in wrestling, I've actually I feel like in 2019 was the last year I had like hard goals for myself, which was like, hey, travel to new states, debut for new companies and stuff like that. And I feel like last year I had goals, but like, they were very like kind of like, if I get them, I get them. If not, like maybe as long as I feel like I'm doing well and I'm improving and, getting out there, then like that's fine enough for me. But then I realized I kind of weirdly hit all the goals that I hit for myself. Because in 2022, my goals were, I want to wrestle in the Midwest. I want to wrestle in like 2 new states. I want to like, travel. I want to, network a little bit better. I want to be on PWI, and then all those things happened, like it was nuts. Cause I was like, oh shit. Sorry, I cursed, but I was
you could curse.
I was like, like it was nuts. Cause I wrestled in DC twice. I wrestled in Chicago. I got to go back up to Canada, wrestle in Canada this year. And I was just like, there's so much good stuff that happened for me that I can't even like, and you don't really notice it because you're on the grind. You're not going, oh my God. You're just like, oh, this is really cool. Then you step back and then you're like, oh shoot. So this is a long turnaround way of me saying like, my goals are a little different. They're a little bit more internal right now. Cause I'm like, I feel like I've proved to myself that I am the kind of wrestler that I feel I am. And now it's a matter of like kind of just continuing to work on that self and affirm that belief. So it's like just training a lot harder, working out more, dieting, exercising, take care of my mental health a little bit better. It's weirdly internal because I'm just like, yeah, everything's gonna happen for me in wrestling. Like I'm very confident that like if you just keep the right mentality, you keep knocking down doors, keep knocking and keep bothering people, it'll happen for you. And lately I've been feeling really fine with that. And I'm just like, hey, yeah, whatever's meant to happen will happen. If you put in the work, if you keep a good attitude about things, if you're open-minded, if you stay humble and you carry yourself with humility, the good things will happen, And I believe that.
Okay. What about thoughts of going overseas?
Oh,
Do some stuff
absolutely.
out there.
Oh man, that'd be sick. Like I've never traveled overseas, like period. So like to even do that for wrestling or just period is nuts to me, you
Right.
know? Um like I would love that. Like I know the UK, like the idea of it is really nuts. I've had friends of mine who went to the UK like in my high school and they would like
Mhm.
backpack around and stuff like that and take the trains. To go to Japan would be like a
Like a
anime
dream.
boys dream come true. I love the
Right.
food. I love the culture. There's a lot of the wrestling seems, especially with DDT, a lot of it seems very tailored to what I can do, and I'm just kind of like, I mean, you
Right.
know, yeah,
Absolutely. You can learn different styles, obviously. In
mhm,
Japan, UK, and stuff like that will help you overall.
mhm.
I
Absolutely,
believe
absolutely. Yeah, even getting to just train and learn like from different
that's
people and stuff.
right.
Like that's always the idea to me anyways. Is like, oh man, like it's cool to wrestle somewhere, but to train, to take in the culture, to learn, to kind of be adopted a little
Right,
bit
right,
into these communities. I like that's really it. That's the bee's knees.
right. Mexico's another one with lucha libre style. It's a
Absolutely. I
different
got
style.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of forget, but I'm actually half Mexican. So going to Mexico would be really, really cool. Um, being able to, I don't know, maybe wrestle in front of some family and kind of
Yeah,
like, I go through my own feelings of like, oh man, I'm Mexican American and I'm like kind of down to speak Spanish and I've never been to Mexico as a kid. So it's like if I was able to go back and do it right, do it as a wrestler, ingrain myself in the culture and the lucha libre style and way.
right.
Because it's really much a way. Like other communities, other cultures, it's very much like a way of life for them. And there's something really cool about that. Like here in America,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
wrestle, put on our boots, and we
Right,
kind of go out there, you know? With other cultures, there's such a discipline to it. Like it's like a martial arts. Like it's like and
right,
I really admire that. It's really cool. And I want a
right.
little bit of that.
I believe that like Mexico and Japan are kind of the same, whereas it's like a big deal if you're a wrestler. Like it's very
Absolutely.
integrated in the cultures.
Yes. Yes.
So
It's steeped in culture.
absolutely, that's awesome. Have you ever been out here to Long Island?
To Long Island? Yeah,
Yeah. Have you done some shows out here?
yeah, I'm trying to remember the last time I wrestled up in Long Island. Uh, I think the last time I did an NYWC show a number of years ago, like forever ago. Um
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's really about it. I actually now that I think about it, I really haven't wrestled in Long Island like that.
I think you
No.
need to come back here and do some matches out here. That
Yeah,
way
yeah.
I can at least meet you and say hello.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, absolutely. I would be down for that. I mean, I know there's some solid companies up there. I know VPW's been on my radar for a little bit. I know
Right.
Remarkable is starting to kind of create a fun
Remarkable.
buzz. So
I,
that's another place I got my eye on.
I actually bumped into their champion, Gabriel Sky, today at
Oh
work.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's really cool. Gabe
I,
Sky's the homie.
yeah, he's always shops in my store, and I always just seem to bump into him. Like I'm like, what's up?
Ah, sick, sick, sick. Yeah, no, Gabe Sky's he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. He's one of the good brothers, as we say.
He's a very good guy, very good guy. Big things for him as well. Come up.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Yes, and you faced and defeated Alex Reynolds. Oh,
Yeah.
you defeated Alex Reynolds.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I believe that was at Outlaw Wrestling. Typically they used to run sometimes in Long Island, but they typically run in Brooklyn. So I
Right.
wrestled Alex Reynolds there and that was pretty cool. I remember I beat him and that was actually the night after he came back from AEW the night before. So AEW did their first show on
Right.
TV and I think he was I
Oh
think
wow.
him and John Silver like wrestled Santana Ortiz and lost him in like 2 minutes.
Right.
And then he came back. He did literally the next day, came to
Uh-huh.
Outlaw, wrestled me, and I mean, got the victory,
So he got the victory.
I don't know, maybe it's a little jet lag from the traveling or something.
And that's why you're on the PWI 500 list.
Yes, yes, yes.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let's plug away some of your upcoming appearances.
Yes, yes. So my March is starting to get a little busy. So I believe March 5th, I will be doing Invictus Pro Wrestling's Bronx Brewery show,
Oh,
the
okay.
Get Down. So please get your tickets to that. I will be doing the first ever and maybe last ever cheat code match. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
No, explain it, please.
See, I could explain it, but then that takes away from it. But I think you
The
guys can
mystery.
imagine it. Yeah, like I mean, come on, when you played Grand Theft Auto and you like put on, you put in all the cheat codes and you have all the weapons. When you would do Tony Hawk and you do all the cheat codes and you get big head mode and unlock Spider-Man and stuff. Like you gotta just once you start thinking about that, then you'll have a good idea what this cheat code match is.
Don't you come out with a GameCube?
I mean, maybe I'll come out with the GameCube. Maybe I'll come out with the Switch. Maybe I'll come out with a Nintendo 64. You
All
never
right.
quite know when
You
you're
never
cheat
know
code
what's
match
gonna
with me.
happen.
And then also the week after that, March 10th, I have We Are Wrestling, which is also in the Bronx. We're giving the Bronx a lot of love in March. And I'm really excited for that because I've called out Dan Moff. So we'll see if he accepts my challenge, and we'll see if he shows up. It is the first round of a tournament to crown the first ever grand champion. So I'm very intrigued and very interested to see how this goes because I've called him out and he said very little about that.
Maybe he's listening to this broadcast right now.
I sure hope so, man. I'm like I can't call myself big game if I'm not chasing after boss battles, if I'm not going after the baddest and the biggest. Right. And maybe that's a little surprising, but it's like, hey man, I'm just trying to play big games. If I wanted to just wrestle Goombas all day, like it wouldn't be really much fun.
All right, where can everybody follow you?
All right, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Big Game Leroy. Kept it very easy for everybody. You guys can also add me on Facebook if you guys are still using Facebook, which I hope we are, at Leroy Green. And you can also find my YouTube, Big Game Leroy, on YouTube. I throw matches and fun little skits and little promos of mine. It's like a little archive for me, so you guys can check out all my stuff. And then if you also want to buy Big Game Leroy, play a big game and look a big game, then my ProWrestlingTees.com/buy Big Game Leroy, because that is the only place you'll be able to buy Big Game Leroy.
Okay, awesome. As for me, we'll be back at 8:30 with Riley Knox. 8:30 today.
Nice.
She will be on. This is also what I'm calling Papa Denko's Psycho Month.
Wow.
We're getting ready for the Psycho Circus.
I could tell.
Is it? Look at that pop right there. Isn't that awesome?
I was gonna say it's like Joker-esque. I love it.
My son designed that for me.
Sick.
Our first NYWC guest will be this Wednesday in the form of Joey Conway, the Fusion champion. He's set to fight Dan Barry. It's career versus title.
I did hear about that. Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did hear about that. The career versus title match.
Awesome.
Dan Barry.
Dan Barry.
We love that Dan Barry.
We do love the Dan Barry. He's a very, very, very nice guy. Also on Thursday, I will be back with special guest Jay Messias.
Oh my gosh, I know Jay Messias.
You know Jay? Jay's awesome.
Yeah, no, we used to train at House of Glory. He's the homie coming up.
He's a good guy.
When you interview him and stuff, bring me up. Say, hey, you remember, Leroy?
I will.
Ask him about Leroy.
If you want to stop by, let me know. I'll send you the link. You can join us for a moment.
Yeah. Maybe I'll stop in. Hell yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
We will be giving away tickets to VPW show Saturday on that episode.
Oh.
So stay tuned for that episode to hear the trivia question, where you can win tickets for this Saturday's Notorious, featuring the Notorious Mimi, February 11th at victoryprowrestling.com. Get your tickets now. Also, they are offering sponsorship packages for your favorite wrestlers, which is a big deal, Leroy, sponsorship.
Absolutely. Sponsorships are how I make my money usually.
Yeah, we're sponsoring wrestlers, we're sponsoring matches, sponsoring events. It's a big deal.
Absolutely.
So make sure if you want to sponsor someone, go to Victory Pro Wrestling, please. Also, for me, I got this coming up. Let me pull it up. I will be at the big event, the big horror event, this Saturday, March 11th.
Nice.
Featuring Cody, Charlotte, and Edge. They're going to be there, as well as others, such as the acclaimed Ty Conti, or Ty Mello now, and Sammy Guevara, and many more. Then after that, I got a busy month too, Leroy.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at you.
Then I'm going to Icons of Wrestling, the Spring Fling on March 18th with wrestler Robbie Rebel. We'll be hanging out there at our own table, doing our thing. Please stop by and say hi.
Arena, sick.
Yeah, that's a good one. They just announced FTR tonight.
Oh yeah,
FTR is gonna be there.
Hell yeah.
A
Good
lot of
dudes.
people are going to be there. Good guys. Absolutely. Leroy, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you coming on. Maybe you can come on sometime later this year, or maybe stop by and say hello to Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a good time. It sounds like a game I could sink my teeth into. So yeah,
That's
please,
right.
anytime you guys want me, I will return.
Awesome. That might be my trivia question. So I'm not going to give that away with Jay.
Nice.
But anyway, all right, Leroy. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you in about 15, 20 minutes for Riley Knox. Thank you, everybody.